Welcome to Easy Cooking. This is Tutuca and the recipe I will prepare today is Salgadinhos. This appetizer is the one thing every Brazilian likes to eat on parties, celebrations, cocktails, gatherings, funerals, or just as a quick snack. It doesn't matter what region in Brazil you come from or your social status, everyone is the same when it comes to eating salgadinhos. We start by preparing the chicken stuffing. For that we need 1 kilogram of chicken breast, half cup of fresh coriander, half cup of fresh green onions, 4 garlic cloves, 1 onion, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of parsley, half of a tablespoon of paprika, half of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, black pepper to taste, and 1 liter and 200 milliliters of boiling water. These ingredients are to prepare a broth at the same time you will cook the chicken, so cut all the vegetables in big chunks to cook along with the chicken. Place a saucepan in medium heat and carefully arrange the onions, coriander and green onions at the bottom. Over this bed of herbs, put the chicken breast covered with the rest of the seasonings. Last, pour the boiling water until everything is covered. When the water starts boiling again, lower the heat to medium-low, cover the pan, and cook it gently for 30 minutes. After this, the chicken will be cooked. So remove the chicken breast out of the broth and let it cool down a little. Meanwhile, pass the broth through an iron sieve and put it aside for later use. When the chicken cools down, shred it using your favorite technique, with 2 forks pulling fibers in opposing directions or with your hands until the fibers are well separated and in very small sizes. Now it's time to season the chicken filling. We will need 4 cloves of garlic, 1 small onion, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of salt, black pepper to taste, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 kilogram of shredded chicken breasts. In a mini food processor, mix the onion with the garlic until you form a thick mix. Heat the olive oil in a saucepan under medium heat and fry the onion-garlic mix for about 1 minute. Add the shredded chicken and mix well. Add the rest of the spices and seasoning and mix again for 1 minute to incorporate all flavors to the chicken. Turn off the heat and let it cool down. Meanwhile, you can start preparing the dough. You will need 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 small onion, 2 garlic cloves, 1/4 of a cup of parsley, half of a cup of green onion, 1 liter of milk, 250 grams of butter, 4 cubes of vegetable stock, 1 liter of chicken broth, 1 kilogram and 800 grams of white all-purpose flour. In the mini processor, mix the garlic, onion, green onions and parsley until obtaining a homogeneous paste. In a very large saucepan, melt the butter and fry the paste for around 2 minutes under medium heat. Add the chicken broth and the milk and mix well. Add the salt and the vegetable stock cubes and dissolve them with a spoon. Stir constantly until it starts boiling. At this stage, add the flour quickly while mixing with a robust spoon to incorporate everything and cook the flour. When the flour is cooked, you will notice that the dough will not stick to the bottom of the pan anymore. Turn off the heat and pour the dough over a clean and heat-resistant surface. After it cools down a little bit, mix the dough with your hands until all the small bits of uncooked flour get incorporated and your dough becomes smooth. Divide it into 4 pieces and cover it with plastic wrap to avoid drying. To make the small chicken raindrop, take an amount of the dough and roll it against your table to form a cylinder. Cut the cylinder in even pieces with around 1.5 centimeter. Each piece will be 1 raindrop. Press it against your hands and put an amount of the chicken in the middle of the disc. Close the edges and make sure there is no hole exposing the filling. Carefully smooth the surface with your fingers, perfecting the shape of a raindrop. To make the cheese balls, take a square of your favorite cheese and press against your ball of dough. Take all the air out by closing your fist tightly and make a ball shape with your hands. Smooth it carefully with your fingers again. It's almost done. Now you need to bread everything. To bread the small appetizers, we will use 6 eggs, 400 grams of breadcrumbs. Beat the eggs in a bowl for 2-3 minutes until all the whites are mixed with the yolks. Pour the breadcrumbs in another bowl. One by one, sink the appetizers in the egg mix first and then on the breadcrumbs, covering all their surface. Put them aside for either frying or freezing them. When it's time to fry, heat the oil into medium to high heat before deep frying your appetizers. Carefully put them in a pan and fry until they are golden. Absorb the excess oil with a paper towel and serve them. You will not believe how good these are. A Brazilian party without salgadinhos is no party at all. It might involve a lot of hard work to make them, but I will tell you it's worth it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like it on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends and family. Now you just need to wash the dishes, clean up the mess, clean the floor, take a